I'm happy to be here with Syd Rives from Spro because Syd spends quite a bit of time in the Northeast with us in New England, off the New York coast and in New Jersey. Syd Rives knows quite a bit about the way we fish, which is why it's really great to talk about new stuff from Spro, because you know the new stuff from Spro is geared towards the way we fish.
Absolutely. So let's start first. Right here we have our slow pitch jigging. This is a basic model slow pitch jig right here. This is what we call a leaf jig, a leaf shape jig. It's got the glow on the back. This is our Shimmy Flat Jig right here. This is already comes rigged with 2 Gamakatsu hooks. All you need to do is tie it on. This is for the guy that might be the beginner to intermediate guy that doesn't want to have to rig all their stuff. You just tie this on and drop it down. This is your basic leaf style. Then we have our Shimmy Semi-Long Jig. Once again, it comes rigged. And this is for either two-way current, undercurrent. It's just basically, it's gonna fall faster. So if you're fishing, where's it, the rips that we were fishing that time for the stripers, this would be a good option for that.
Gotcha.
So those are our 2 jigs. They come in about 8 different sizes, and 8 colors. So there's a good selection to match just about any kind of circumstance that you might have.
And the jigging has become so popular in the different style jigs, and especially that slow pitch, a very unique way of cutting through the water column. Right?
Oh yeah, and we're trying to make it simpler.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's so complicated, and you can take it to the next level. But this is for the guy that just wants to go out and buy his jig with everything rigged the way that we recommend you rig it. Go fishing.
How about the Cannonball? This one's looking kind of cool here.
This thing right here is pretty interesting. It's actually a technique that's very popular in Japan. They call it tie rubber in Japan, but we're calling it the Cannonball. And it's a little jig, and it's like a little, almost like a chrome ball, but a through line chrome ball.
So that's what it looks like to me. It looks like a big chrome ball for fluke.
Yeah. So when we went 2 years ago, and we went out of Oregon.
Off the North Fork. Yeah.
That's what I was catching a lot of fish on that. What I would do is I'd tip it with a couple of spearing, drop it down, reel it a little bit off the bottom, and let it just sit there and do this in the water. Nailed it. And I was catching flounder on it.
That's great. Looks like a little squid, octopus, but fish are jumping all over this. These jigs here on both sides, when are we going to be able to see these in the market?
These are going to be here, it looks like, in November.
Okay.
So we'll have them for next year, and maybe some of the striper run.
Striper and black sea bass when we get started.
Absolutely.
Tail end of the tuna run. With a slow pitch style jigging, you wouldn't even think about it, but having the right line spooled on makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, that's where your metered braids come in too.
Correct.
So that you know if you're dropping it down and they're biting at pink, you know to go back down to pink. So they're marked every 10 meters. This Japanese braid, but this right here is special. This is slow pitch braid 4X4, which is a 4-strand braid. This is more for your conventional tackle. This is going to be something if you're fishing really deep, maybe cod fishing, something like that, really deep, 300, 400, 500 feet. The reason why is the 4-strand braid does not stretch as much as an 8. We also make an 8 for the guys that want to use spinning rods or they're slow pitching and shallow water. So we have both options.
But that idea of being as tight as possible to that jig as you're coming up and down.
You want to control it.
Correct.
Because a lot of times when you're doing this, you'll feel the fish around your jig. You'll feel them miss it. You'll feel them swimming by. It's kind of amazing, but you feel the fish doing it. And if you have more feel, you'll catch more fish most of the time.
So whole selection of Spro stuff, and really a lot of it, as you'll see when you go to the tackle shops come November, because it's the braid as well. And
the braid is actually in stock right now.
Oh, good. Yeah. So if you're out there slow pitch jigging right now,
and we have bulk spools of it too.
That's awesome.
For the guys that are wanting to spool up the bigger reels.
Gotcha. Look, it's really kind of a wave, this slow pitch style jigging. It's a little bit different than the vertical fast retrieve. It's a really unique way of putting some jigs down, and not just for the big tuna, but it's a great way of catching black sea bass.
Oh, absolutely. The biggest difference that you're going to find is most of the time when you're jigging a conventional jig, a high-speed jig, that fish is biting that jig on the way up. This The slow pitch way, they're biting it on the fall.
Because it's falling down and it's cutting through the various parts of the water column.
Absolutely.
Listen, if you're going to get into slow pitch jigging, I highly recommend it. Make sure you look for the whole line from Spro, from the Cannonball to the Shimmy, the Semi-Longs. You can talk about a million type of jigs, but make sure you take a look at these from Spro.